आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला।
And moving on, shocking developments have emerged in Navi Mumbai in the kidnapping case linked to Puja Khedkar's family. The victim, a truck helper, has stated that he was abducted, confined and physically assaulted, prompting police to add multiple charges including kidnapping, extortion, criminal intimidation and wrongful confinement. Now, Dilip and Manorama Khedkar reportedly obstructed police officers and attempted to evade justice by disappearing from their residence. Puja Khedkar herself has a controversial past, having previously faced scrutiny for allegedly faking a disability to gain entry into the Indian administrative services. Now, the family's actions raise serious questions about entitlement, misuse of privilege, and how VVIPs can exploit power with seeming impunity. Authorities have issued lookout notices, but the case exposes the limits of the system when wealth and influence are involved. This scandal underscores a troubling pattern of privilege shielding individuals from accountability, and it prompts urgent reflection on how laws are enforced against the powerful.
Prahlad Kumar, the helper of a cement mixer truck, reportedly graced the SUV owned by Dilip Khedkar, father of former IS officer Puja Khedkar. Agitated, Dilip Khedkar allegedly bundled up the helper, shoved him in the SUV and kidnapped him. The victim was then forcibly taken from Navi Mumbai to Pune. When police reached to rescue the victim, Prahlad Kumar, Puja Khedkar's mother confronted cops. Khedkars let the dogs out to attack and scare the policemen. And since then, Khedkars are on the run. Republic caught hold of one of Khedkar's drivers. He confessed that the kidnapped victim was kept in the house.
कब से आप काम कर रहे हैं उनके यहाँ?
1 महीना हो गया।
1 महीना हो गया। अभी घर में कोई है?
नहीं।
आ जाइए, आराम से आइए, कोई दिक्कत नहीं। आराम से आइए, कोई दिक्कत नहीं। घर में कोई है?
नहीं, कोई नहीं।
आप ड्राइवर काम करते हैं?
हाँ।
अच्छा, कब से नहीं है वो लोग? आ जाइए, आ जाइए। कब से नहीं है?
हाँ?
कब से नहीं है वो लोग पूजा खेड़कर घर वाले?
वो पता नहीं सर मेरे को।
अच्छा, अभी नहीं है ना?
अभी नहीं है।
कोई भी नहीं है?
नहीं है।
दूसरा ये कि जो लेके आए थे उसको कहाँ पे रखे थे? आप बता रहे थे ना?
हमारे साथ ही था वो रूम में।
The rescued victim narrated ordeal and shared how he was locked up inside a room, fed stale food and threatened with dire consequences. Lookout notices have been issued against Puja Khedkar's parents to prevent them from fleeing the country. Manorama Khedkar was arrested last year too after a video of her brandishing gun went viral. While Puja Khedkar, a 2023 batch IS officer, is under investigation over wrongfully availing OBC benefits and disability concessions. A family involved in crimes and a system allowing the daughter to fake disability and joins IAS, allowing her mother to wave a gun, grab land and get away without arrest, allowing her father, a retired government official, to kidnap a man. If this is not a complete mockery of law and order, then what is?
And I'm joined by Krishna Hegre, spokesperson for the Shiv Sena. I'm joined by Senior Advocate Swapnil Kothari. Also, retired Senior IPS Officer P.K. Jain joins us on the debate. And Congress leader Ratnakar Tripathi stays on for this debate as well. Now, let me start by asking you, Mr. Hegre. This is complete brazenness. This is complete disregard for the law. And it is happening one after the other to the same family. Now, they know that there is a certain sense of entitlement. They will not be caught. And there will be questions that will be asked from you. What is happening in Maharashtra?
No one is above the law, I must state here. Earlier also, when Puja Khedkar was on the run, she was apprehended. Her mother was also arrested in an earlier case. This time also, the bodyguard has been arrested. There has been a lookout circular against the family, and they are again on the run. And Puja Khedkar, a probationary IAS officer, has also been removed from service. And therefore, there is no one above the law. Whether you are entitled or no, the law takes up its own course and brings justice to the person who's actually in a problem. And similarly, if they have kidnapped a person, there have been cases registered against them. Now a lookout notice also there. And earlier also, when they were on a run, they were arrested. And this time also, the law will take its own turn, and they will soon be behind bars.
No. Mr. Hegde, let me just point this out to you. A family that is already on the radar will think twice before committing another sin. Now, what does Puja Khedkar's father do? Dilip Khedkar, along with his bodyguard, kidnaps the helper of a truck rescued from their home in Pune because their luxury SUV had collided with the vehicle and they wanted him to compensate for the damage. Now, this man was rescued from Khedkar residence. He was abducted. He was kidnapped. Now, this family is on the run. This family is being washed over, but they still managed to kidnap a helper and keep him abducted at their residence. What was happening? What was the police doing?
This was a road rage accident. They pulled up the helper from the road rage accident and they confined him to their house. And when the police got to know, because the truck driver and the truck owner had lodged a complaint, the police landed up at their place. They were not allowed to go in, but the police did their job, and now the couple, Khedkar couple, is on the run.
I'm sorry, Mr. Hegde, but what does this mean? The police was not allowed entry into their house. They've abducted an individual, kept him in their house, and the police was not allowed entry. And what did the police do? They waited.
No, the police forced themselves into the house.
This happened much later, sir.
Into the house.
What I'm trying to say is,
forced themselves into the house.
What I'm trying to say is, this family is already on the radar, manages to do
every right
are wrong every time and still escape. How is that happening? I do not understand. If Mr. Jain, if I can bring you into the debate. Mr. Jain, how is that happening? There's a sense of entitlement.
Can you tell me one thing?
There is a sense of entitlement. And there is something that is keeping them, there is definitely something which is keeping them safe.
Or was it the
what is going on?
Manorama Khedkar bail?
Yeah, hi, good evening. Thank you very much for getting me in on this debate. Well, it's a fact that they are habitual offenders. They have been committing crimes with an impunity. Earlier also, they got a lot of relief from the courts. And now in this case, where a person had been abducted from the crime scene and he was taken to their residence, confined there for 2 days, the police went inside and got him rescued. But after that, they just walked away because the lady of the house, she put up a resistance and they walked away from there. In fact, they should have posted a guard there, and they should have ensured. And when the abducted person had confirmed that the two criminals were there in that house at that time, and yet the police walked away in their totality, they should not have done that. They should have posted up a person out there, even if they had to leave at that time and come back with the lady constables or whatever they wanted to, other arrangements they wanted to make. They should have done that, and they should have ensured that none of these people who have a history of absconding, they would have absconded. So it's absolutely clear. Somewhere there has been a little slip. But as Mr. Hegde says, that eventually they will be caught. The punishment for the crime is up to 10 years in case somebody is abducted for ransom. So under section 140 of the BNS now. So the punishment is quite severe, and sure they will be arrested now. Of course, it was a slip up on the part of the police, but it is not a mistake which cannot be rectified. So I feel that the action has now been taken by the police. They should, in fact, go a step ahead now. Under the old CRPC and under the BNSS now, there is a provision for confiscating and attaching their properties. They should move the court immediately after this to declare them absconders and offenders and move to attach their properties. That's what they should be the next immediate step now.
Now, on the onset, at the onset, Swapnil, this seemed like, it seems so much of a drama that one is not really able to believe that there's one family fitting into this whole drama time and again. It's this family, the Khedkar family. And now it's surprising they deliberately obstructed the investigation. They misbehaved with the police officers. They even set a dog on the police team. And what does the police team do? They ask them to come to the station, which they never do. What is going on?
Yeah, so Sharita, what happens at times is that in as much as the efficiency that the police shows, sometimes the people who are criminals, they think one step ahead or two steps ahead. Now, normally I'm usually against the police in these kind of things, that they should act proactively. They should be forcing entry themselves. They should be doing this. They should be doing that. You know, it's all very easy for us to sit here and comment on these things, Sucharita. But the point is that what happens here is that in this particular case, if you've noticed, the police has done as much as it could from its side, minus one or two things here or there, which I think they could have done better, but I would not want to comment on that because I don't see, you know, it's, as I said, that is theoretically correct, but I think all the appropriate sections have been levied. Lookout circular has been issued. It's not going to be a long period of time before this family is caught or these people who are absconders who are caught. Now, one of the provisions, as one of my panelists mentioned, is that you try to attach the property. Now, that is something which the police can do proactively, and it has within its powers to do so. The moment you do that, the moment you file an application of this sort, and you make it public that this application, you will find these absconders scurrying away, who scurried away like rats will be back. So this is something which the police should be doing. The police, I think, to the best of my knowledge, from whatever I've read about it, has done sufficiently well enough. But as I said, Sucharita, not every time the police is going to be able to be on top of the criminals.
Swapnil, I'm sorry, but I do not agree with you. Because it cannot be, my surprise and my question stem from the fact that it's happening to the same family again and again. Why, how is that possible? As I said, they're already on the radar and they happen to do this again and again. And still there is a hesitation. Why is the police not acting? Why are they waiting for them to act? Why were they waiting for the parents, Puja's parents, to come to the police station?
No, they're not going to be waiting. Right. Sucharita, I don't think that they're waiting. They're going to have to file this application for attachment of property. Nobody's waiting for anybody because they know that these people are smart absconders. These people are smart cookies. So on this point, I don't think that police is as naive. Unless there is some sort of a political influence somewhere, because I don't know who this person is, Puja Khedkar, some IAS officer who had, falsified her records to get into this cadre and all those kind of things. You have these kind of people who do this all the time. But the point is that I do not want to pinpoint the, finger at the police until unless I have a certain sense of, certainty, the way it was in the Pune Porsche case, where I knew that police was in hand in gloves because lower sections are levied and all those kind of things. Because the best way that the police tends to compromise the investigation is when they levy sections that are lower than which they could have been levied. So now here in this case, I would not want to point a finger because I think appropriate sections have been levied, Sucharita. Now, if you see this probe being dragged, if you see the police not doing what it's supposed to do, then you and I will be on the same page on a particular debate.
I will ask this to Mr. Tripathi. I will take this question to Mr. Tripathi. Mr. Tripathi, do you think the police has done enough? Swapnil is saying here that the police has done enough and it is looking after this case. It is going to be taken care of. But are you convinced?
Do you think so? I don't think so.
I have serious questions.
They are not habitual offenders. They are habitual criminals. And they have a history of that. Swapnilji was saying, Swapnilji, on 16 July 2024, this madam along with her husband was caught in a hotel in Raigad with fake name, Indu Bai Dhyandev Thakne and Dada Saheb Dhyandev Thakne. Had the police registered that case of fake identity, that would have been a 420. More than 7 years of imprisonment. They would have gone to jail for a long time. But the police didn't impose. So, Sucharita, the problem is of the blue blood clan, the community of IAS and IPS, who just help each other, nothing else. How can this Manorama Khedkar, a wife of an IAS, she just flashes revolver and pistol from the farmers. Then she abducts one person, this IAS and this his wife. She abducts and driver and keep him for 2 days.
Shocking.
And the police is saying, no, I cannot enter. We cannot enter the premises because we don't have the lady constable. You have to there. Please. You would have called the lady constables, more police personnel. Had it been the case of other people, but no, the government and the IAS and the IPS protect each other in cheating, corruption, crime, and every bad thing. That is happening with that Khedkar. And one more thing, I have one objection, Sucharta ji. She is not a former IAS officer.
Yes.
As somebody said, I mean, in your show. She's a fraud.
She's a fraud.
She's a fraud who entered the IAS clan. This should be said.
No, what there are why are there serious questions and serious concerns, Mr. Jain? Because there are people who really work hard to get into the Indian administrative services. Here is somebody who's relying on fraud and dubious means to do that. And then not just that, there will be a question that will be asked, why this kind of VVIP entitlement to this family over and over again? That will be a question that will be asked by all those who've been working hard.
Can I?
And look at the mother holding the gun and telling it's like telling the people that I hold power. I'm the one who will dictate terms.
Absolutely, this is called magruri. This is absolutely called magruri. They whatever little power they had has gone to their heads. Incidentally, Puja Khedkar's father is not an IAS officer. He is one of the junior officers in the department. That is one thing I would like to clarify. And secondly, Puja Khedkar has not been supported by the IAS community. She has been thrown out of service. She has got a lot of relief from the Supreme Court. That's unfortunate. But the fact remains that they must face the music. As one of my co-panelists has just said, there was another case where they stayed under a false name. The case should have been... I mean, such a family and such criminal people with such criminal background should be hounded. And they should be hounded with all the force of the law, which apparently is not happening the way it ought to happen. Unfortunate, but a fact of life.
That is true. Mr. Tripathi, Swapnil wants to come in. Mr. Tripathi, okay, you can raise your question first, then I'll go to Swapnil.
I don't know who was speaking, but he was not thrown by the IS community. He was thrown because she was thrown because she was caught that she's a fraud. And what happened? She ordered her own superior a
No, but what Mr. Jain is saying that nobody is supported. Everybody stood up against her. They questioned her.
10 seconds, Sucharta ji.
Please go ahead.
You tell me, a family, the whole clan who is a habitual criminal.
Yes.
Swapnil said, na, they were just
Can I come in here, please?
charged with a lower section. How could it happen? Unless until there is a pressure from the senior IS and IPS officers. They have the connection. The blue blood connection.
Okay, they have a connection is what Ratnakar Tripathi is saying. Krishna Hegde.
The first report was put up by the collector of
Mr. Tripathi is very clearly saying there has to be a connection, there has to be someone supporting them, otherwise they would not get away every time.
No, what? Mr.
Get the phone
Tripathi
calls, sir. You will know it. Get the phone calls. Detail of the phone calls.
No,
And you will know
Mr.
the
Tripathi is from the
whole
Congress and
story.
everything he has to do is blame everybody. Now he is taking one probationary IAS officer and painting all IAS officers in the same brush. I think that is very unfair. Secondly, let me tell you, where have been they protected? For the last 3-4 instances, wherever they have gone wrong, the police has gotten on to their case. They have been arrested. The bodyguard has been arrested. A lookout notice has been put. The probationary IAS officer has been removed. Everywhere they have committed a fault or a crime, they have been booked. And even in this case, they are not going to be spared. No one is going to be spared.
Will you give us a timeline?
Tomorrow
will you give us a timeline? Or we will keep waiting and then hear another instance? Will we hear another instance? Or you will give us a timeline, Mr. Hegde?
Now, if a family is a habitual offender, I cannot take guarantee for them what they do. I can just say that the court should not give such people bail. I can only request the courts not to give such people bail. What can I, as an individual or a spokesperson, take guarantee on a Khedkar family who is habitually doing these things and getting away because there is some, there is some lacuna in the law. So therefore, these people have to be tightened up.
But sir, they're on the run. There are lookout notices issued against them. They are on the run. There are lookout notices. You can't just get away by saying, how can I say, when are they going to come and face the law? There has to be some kind of, you will have to give people a guarantee that you will be nabbing them.
They will be arrested. They have to face the law. I was only speaking about the decision making of the court, that the court should not give them bail again and again.
Sucharita,
Okay, Mr. Kothari, go ahead.
Yeah, Sucharita, the point is very simple. If it's a bailable offense, the bail will be given. If it's a non-bailable offense, then the bail should not be given. Now, that is the discretion of the court. I don't want to step into that territory because that is outside the realms of the police. The police has to ensure, which I'm sure it will, that there is a tight case. And if there was a case which went unregistered last time, they should be registering that case now. Criminal cases don't have a limitation period. So you want to do that, you want to tighten the case, tighten the rules, unless and until, as Mr. Tripathi pointed out, if there is some sort of a connection or if there is some sort of a political patronage, then that's something which you and I will have to face. Now, if you tell me that, "Arey, gun nikal ke bata diya," I can show you 100 people on the streets of Delhi or Mumbai who will have a gun and who will show you a gun. So I don't think that. No, but
Swapnil, is that a question that only Mr. Ratnakar Tripathi is asking? No.
It's wishful thinking. Ki logon ke paas banduk nahi hone chahiye and somebody.
I agree with you. I give it to you that a lot of people would be holding a gun license. But what I'm saying is the question that Mr. Ratnakar Tripathi is asking, is that only his question? Would not people who are looking at this story, who've been completely following this story, would be asking the same questions? Why this sense of entitlement to this family again and again?
No. Yeah, but I would not use the word entitlement. I don't think there is some sort of entitlement because a lot of arrests have been made. A lookout circular has been issued. There is a particular procedure that you follow as per the CRPC and as per the BNS and all those,
let Mr. Jain have a final word on that. So because he knows about the protocol, he knows about the procedures. Let Mr. Jain have a final word on that. Mr. Jain?
See, the fact remains that they will be arrested. It's only a matter of time.
Okay.
The moment the police moves, I have seen in the most hardened of the cases where the police moves for attachment of property, the accused promptly come, and this family has a lot to lose. They are sitting on about 150 crore of rupees worth of property. So the moment their property is going to be attached, they will immediately make a beeline to the police station. So the thing which they did not do at 3 p.m. on that day, they will do now promptly, provided this action is taken. I'm sure the police everybody knows about these sections. The only thing is the will and the determination to take that action. Only that is required. And I'm sure that this guy must be having some kind of a political protection because he has been getting some kind of. He's getting away very lightly in terms of a common man would have been hounded by the police by this time. Here the police goes to his residence, gets a person released from there, and yet the accused are not arrested on the spot. It's unfortunate, but it has happened. So I think somebody has to tighten up their girdle and take a strict action in this case.
Mr. Tripathi, final word.
Now let me tell you, Mr. Hegde and Mr. Swapne, how they are helped. When they were caught from the hotel on a fake identity, the acts of fake identity, impersonation, and forging the document should have been imposed. That would have given them a more than 7 years of imprisonment. And they would have, please, don't interrupt. They wouldn't have come on bail. Now let me tell you one more thing. Flashing a a licensed revolver or pistol to threaten someone, the license should have been cancelled. And I know it. I'm not saying I believe it. I know it hasn't been cancelled.
No, I just think.
They are not
sir,
being
मुझे सब
protected
सेक्शन
by
पता
their
है.
clan.
मैं खाली आपको बोल रहा हूँ कि वो हो जाएगा, होने वाला होगा, तब हो जाएगा.
कब होगा?
Those questions are being asked by a lot of people, not just Mr. Tripathi, is what I'm saying. I don't have any time left on the debate. Thank you so much for joining me on this debate. All I want to say is that there is a certain sense of entitlement that a lot of people feel that this family has got, and that is precisely why they are raising questions. But moving on, Trump back with his finger-pointing diplomacy, targets India yet again, says India-China main funders of the Russia war. The big debate on the other side with Niranjan and Abhishek.
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जलजीरा मसाला। सिप सिप जीरा सिप